Well, good afternoon, guys. Today we got out of the shop early, so I'm gonna go ahead and help out one of the subscribers from my channel. Subscriber contacted me, commented, and asked me a few questions about his Prostar. And well, we exchanged phone numbers. I got to talk to the guy, and basically, he brought the truck over. I mean, these guys, they live an hour and a half away, and they brought this 2014 Prostar. So we can go ahead and check it out. We ran a scan last night, and we figured out that it's got a couple of issues, but the main problem is oil consumption. He's got a bad crankcase breather. So gentleman, his name is his YouTube channel name, or YouTube name, is Untal George. His name is George. He went and bought the crankcase breather this morning, and basically, well, let me go ahead and walk down and show you guys what we're going to be working on. It's a 2014 Prostar with a Max Force 13. So let me go ahead and show you guys. Well, guys, we're here with the truck. This is a 2014 Prostar, and it's got the Max Force 13. This is the culprit here. This is a crankcase breather right here. So to get to this, they already moved the CAC tube. I got to get this inlet tube off. I'm going to remove these bypass hoses. I'm going to drain some of the water out to be able to get to this, a little bit easier, a little bit more access. So let me go ahead and get started on tearing this apart. We are going to remove this oil filter case just to make it easier for us to actually extract that oil cooler. So let me go ahead and see how good of a video I can get out of here, and well, let me go ahead and get started, guys. Well, guys, we removed some of the harnesses and the CAC cold air intake tube off. We're gonna have to remove this intake bellow. It's held down by 50mm bolts or studs. One's right there, and the other one is somewhat hidden down here. I couldn't get it while I was taking them off, but there they are. Let me go ahead and continue, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this little connector here, remove this part off so I can go ahead and expose that crankcase breather. All right, give me 1 second. Well, guys, we got this sucker removed. All we did was loosen the pipes, move them out of the way, so we can go ahead and wiggle this little sucker out. I mean, it takes a little persuasion, but it does come out. And this here is our crankcase breather. Go ahead and get that new one and put it back in there.
¿Está grabando, eh? ¿Y algo de la liga?
Chingado. You can go ahead and install these new seals on it to get this sucker back in place. Okay. Got him? Guys, I couldn't record as I was trying to wiggle that thing in. I had to use both hands, guys. I mean, it is a little, it's in a tight space, so I just kind of wiggled it in, set the little crankcase breather in place, kind of twisted it just a bit so that it would fall into place. Now that it's in place, I'm going to go ahead and get the 3 bolts back in there. They're 10mm. There's one behind it, and then there's one on this other side of the crankcase breather. I'll see if I can get some of this on video, but I'll see, guys. Let me see how I can do this. And of course, but we remove the oil filter to be able to give us more space to pull this out. And these pipes were just loosened. We pulled them away. I put a little screwdriver to kind of wedge it out so they can give me enough space to pull this little crankcase breather out. I didn't remove them. So let me go ahead and continue, guys. We got those 3 little bolts tightened up, and we got that little hose connected to the top of that crankcase breather. Now all you got to do is tighten up these turbo case little connectors and stuff, get those bolts back in there, tighten everything up, and plug everything in. Let me go ahead and finish this off and crank it over, see what it does. Well guys, there's a crankcase breather installed. I didn't get to get that good of footage, but I mean, I got it the best that I could, and well, we got it installed, guys. So let me go ahead and close this off here, guys. I do appreciate you guys watching.
There you go. Ahorita una carne asada, que quede.
Aquel hombre quiere unas Frosty de Snowman.
We working on that same Prostar where we did that crankcase breather on. Well, got a different issue. Steering wheel, they lost all the functions, cruise control, horn, all that good stuff, radio controls, none of it works. And the problem with that one is going to be our clock spring. Let me show you guys real quick. This here's a little clock spring. It's just basically wires meshed up in this little spool, and well, the way they go is the spool has this ribbon inside of it. It'll allow you to turn the steering wheel, and the ribbon just tightens up a little bit or loosens up, and the continuity or the connection never gets lost with a connector. This truck, a couple of reasons why it might have snapped. Guys did some suspension work on it, and they released a steering shaft, and if they spun the steering wheel too much to the right or left, that'll cause the clock spring to break. So it could have been that, or it just could have been, like, I mean, old and brittle, and it just broke off. So, well, we're gonna go ahead and let me get this out of the way real quick. We're gonna go ahead and get this horn off. Under this, there's a nut. Well, I already kind of did. Remove this, disconnect the wire. Remove this 32mm nut. And now we're going to take an extractor, put the 2 bolts in here, and pull the steering wheel completely off. Once we do, horn ring is just right under it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the steering wheel off first, and then we'll get to that little clock spring. All right. So we went ahead and got this puller set. We had to rent it out from an auto parts store because mine, I didn't have the right bolts and stuff like that. Nah, we just decided to go ahead and just rent it. I got it set up. I used these 2 little bolts here, and this is the extractor one. You tighten this up and it'll just pull that steering wheel right out. Let me go ahead and see if I can record this while in media. I need to get a 1/2-inch wrench. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get that wrench real quick. Well guys, as we were trying to remove that steering wheel, dude, one of our bolts, extractor bolts for the puller, broke inside the steering wheel. I had to drill it out and use an easy out to pull that thing out. This is a puller that you probably get at O'Reilly's or AutoZone. The bolts are, I don't know, they're not grade 8, that's for sure. So we went ahead and stopped, had to go and purchase M6 1.0 bolts. They're metric. Bought 2 of them, brought them back, and well, that's what we're going to use to pull that steering wheel. The steering wheel's got the puller still installed on it, dude. I kind of removed it, didn't get it on tape, but I mean, I'll show you. Well, I'll show you in a bit. And here, guys, this is going to be our clock spring, or this here is what steering wheel has controls for radio, cruise control, stuff like that on there. This is what actually sends a signal out to the ECM so that it can actually do perform the function that you're requesting. This thing is completely gone. The clock spring is broken. I'll take it apart in a bit and show you guys what it is. It's just a ribbon cable wrapped around this, inside this little case, and it'll only allow, I mean, it's limited. It'll allow you to turn it maybe 3 times to the right or the left, and that little ribbon will keep its shape, or it'll stay connected. Once you do overturn that thing, the little ribbon cable snaps off and you lose connectivity. Let me go ahead and take this one off, and I'll show you guys in a bit. All right. When you do get the new one's got a tape on there, You're not supposed, if it's broken, don't use it. It's supposed to be intact. It's already preset. Your steering tires have to be straight. You set this sucker back in. Once you set it in, connect it, set your steering wheel. When you do make that first turn, this little ribbon cable is going to break on its own. And basically that's it. I mean, it'll move. Well guys, there's a clock spring already installed. I put the steering wheel, got it as straight as I could. Got this nut tightened. I don't have a torque wrench with me, but I used a little impact. I'm guessing 50-60 pounds. For now it should be enough. I'm gonna go ahead and make the connections. Basically, connectors real simple. This one here, coming from the clock spring, there's the corresponding little connector for that one. Snap it in, and then this wire here goes to the horn ring, or the actual pad right here. All right, these two little metal prongs make contact with this little brass little strip right here, and that'll make the horn go off. And well, the rest is on your steering wheel. You got your cruise control, all this good stuff here, and radio controls. So let me go ahead and get this sucker back together. I can't record getting the little pad on. Gotta use both hands, but I just want to show you guys that little gray wire goes on that little prong right there. Let me go ahead and get this on. Well guys, there's a steering pad already in place. I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. Again, this is a 2014 International Prostar, and this was remove and replace of a clock spring horn ring. So, well guys, appreciate you guys watching. Like and comment.